Before I begin, I need to warn you. What I'm about to tell you will shock you to the very core. I want you to know that it's absolutely vital you watch this presentation until the very end, while you still have the chance, because it could be taken down at any moment. Have you seen the price of energy lately? Gosh, who hasn't? It seems like the price only knows how to go in one direction, up. What you don't know is the dirty little secret that big energy has known and kept from you for years. Hi, my name is William Carter. I'm 49 years old and I live in a town called Joplin, Missouri with my wife Mia and my two daughters Emma and Olivia. Living in Missouri, high energy bills were something I'd been dealing with my entire adult life. And while I've certainly never liked having to pay $300 or more per month to keep my home warm during the winters or cool during our muggy summers, I'd always just accepted that that's the way it is. Missouri sits at the crossroads of cold air coming down from Canada, tropical air coming up from Gulf, Florida, and the fast westerly upper airflow. So not too surprising that the weather can get so wild. On Sunday, May 21st, 2011, my family and I got up to get ready for church. I took a few moments to check Facebook. Little did I know the horrific event that would take place later that day. After we got home from church and had eaten lunch, the girls and I took an afternoon nap while my wife Mia had to go to work. After we woke up, I started to do the dishes and was going to get dinner ready. Olivia was watching cartoons on TV, so we didn't have the local news station playing, completely unaware of the weather. Emma called, which is unusual, to tell us to watch the weather. I turned the TV on to the news station, and she and I decided together we were safe that the storm was heading north of us. So we hung up, and I started back to what I was doing. Then Mia called and said, "Do you know we are under a tornado warning?" I said, "Really? No." And then the sirens started going off. I hung up and took the girls to the bathtub and sat down. The sirens quit going off, so we got out of the bathroom and started to resume our evening. I put Olivia in a stand-up bouncer seat in the living room, and Emma was sitting on the couch. Mia called again to check on us. While on the phone, I continued to look through the windows, keeping an eye on the extremely dark sky. When looking out my front window, the sky to the left was a pretty light blue, and the sky to the right was black. I kept hearing the weatherman saying the storm is over the heart of Joplin. I thought, is that me? Then I noticed hail sporadically falling out the front window. I told Mia, who's still on the phone, that it is hailing. She said, "Get in the hallway. This is not a good sign." So I told Emma to get in the hallway, and I picked Olivia up, still in the bouncer seat, and placed her in the hallway. I went to Olivia's room and grabbed her bedpillows and her special puppy dog and blankies, then shut her bedroom door. I went to my bedroom and grabbed just a few more bedpillows and shut our bedroom door along with Emma's bedroom door and the hall bathroom door. These things I don't always do. Then something told me to remove Olivia from the bouncer seat and hold her in my lap. So I took her out and put the seat back in the living room. Then I realized the TV was too loud and it wasn't telling me anything worth hearing. So I got up to turn it down so I could hear more of what might be happening outside. It felt like seconds after I sat in the hallway, the hail and extreme winds began banging on the front of the house. It was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. The bones of the house shook, and the power went out. The force pushing on the house got stronger until it ripped through the house, taking everything in its path. The noise was unbelievable. It was so loud. The wind was so strong, and the skies were so dark. All I could do was cover my babies and yell, "God, please, keep us safe. Please put your angels all around us." I begged and pleaded God to keep us safe. The tornado seemed to go on and on. The thought of what it would be like to wake up in heaven passed through my mind. The pillow that was on my head flew immediately off, and I thought, man, it's me against the tornado now. So I got lower down on my girls. I begged God to please let it end. Please let it end. I felt helpless. I was scared. I felt that we were about to die. By miracle, the house held out. When it finally came to an end and I sat there checking on the girls, and I hear a voice that I know very well, yelling, "Will! Will! Will!" It was my wife. She had been on the phone the entire time the tornado ripped through our house. I couldn't believe it. I had to search a little through debris, and I finally found my phone. Before I was able to say my first words, the communication was hit and miss. I sat there thinking, what do I do? Where do I go? Should I stay here or go for help? I decided I needed to get the girls to safety. So I had Olivia stand up and I stood up with Emma, then picked Olivia up and carried both girls in my arms, along with Olivia's favorite blanket and stuffed puppy dog, and carried them barefoot to a nearby church. I can't believe I carried them that far, not to mention barefoot. I didn't look around much. I was too afraid of what I would see. The girls and I just held each other close and walked to where we knew we would be seen. I walked to 20th and Wisconsin. I heard screams and cries. It broke my heart knowing there were injured or even trapped people out there, but I had to keep walking to keep my girls safe. Once I reached the church, we were all cold and tired and scared. We sat down on the church parking lot. Everywhere we looked had been destroyed. Soon Mia was able to get there too. Our neighbor says the storm lasted 4 minutes. In that time, 4 of the 12 townhouses in our unit were completely destroyed. Of the houses left standing, ours suffered the least damage. Only a part of the roof collapsed. Amazingly, none of us were severely injured. Homes were messes of splinters. Cars thrown like toys sat in ridiculous places. Hunks of steel hung in trees, the trees that were left. Most were shaved down to gnarly apocalyptic wishbones. When people were allowed back on the street, if emergency crews gave the green light, that's when the real trauma set in for many. It's bizarre and disorienting when every landmark and sign your eye knows is suddenly gone and there's miles of nothing in its place. It's funny when you can't tell your own stuff when you get back and look at it like this. But, as I was soon to discover, that was just the beginning of the nightmare, because over 130 people lost their lives in this horrible storm. It was truly a tragedy. However, I didn't know this at the time. But what happened in the next 2 weeks made me feel powerless, because there was nothing I could do to protect the ones I cared for most. Joplin has no power. Water and food is out from stores and volunteers are handing out bottles and sandwiches. The twister is gone, but the danger is still real. Instantly, I knew we were in trouble. No power meant no heat, no ability to cook food, no refrigerator, no freezer, and no lights. No cell phone service, no radio, no TV to help keep the girls occupied. No way to contact anyone. I can't say that we were completely unprepared. We had a gas-powered generator, blankets, and some canned food. Problems started to appear the next day, when the gas ran out, and we were left without water and food. So I tried to find solutions. We had to eat and stay dry. Unfortunately, we also found out that our emergency stock had become inaccessible following the tornado. I decided to go out and get some food and water from the volunteers, but I was told that a plane is sending emergency materials and supplies for us, and it should arrive tomorrow. This is great news. The girls need to eat and drink today, not tomorrow. I can't forget the girls' image telling me, "Daddy, we're hungry and thirsty." But I was as helpless as they were. In the evening, someone knocked at the door. My wife went to see who was knocking and came to tell us that our neighbors John and Anna invited us to dinner. First, it seemed strange. We've just been hit by a tornado. Everyone is struggling to survive, and they invited us to dinner? We decided to go, and when we arrived, John and Anna were cooking the dinner. They invited us inside. Since I made my first step into the house, I was amazed. The oven was working at full speed. The lights were all on, in all the house, and their kids were watching cartoons on TV. Anna served us some hot coffee. I looked at Mia, and Mia was looking at me. This means she was just as shocked as me. What the heck? I thought, this is not possible. We've just been hit by a tornado, and the authorities told us that all the lines are down, and no one has electricity in the city. How do they have electricity? And how are they allowed to waste it in such a manner? Probably they have some solar panels, or a wind turbine or gas generator or something, or probably they're just paying thousands of dollars each month for the power bill. We had dinner, and Emma and Olivia were really happy because they could eat and watch cartoons on TV with our neighbors' kids. After eating, we were drinking a hot cup of coffee, and I made my courage, and I asked John how they have electricity if all the power lines are down. John agreed to tell me, with the condition to keep well his secret. Then he said to me to follow him to his basement. He showed me something that looked like an electric engine, spinning very fast. and in the same time, very quietly, and a small box, the size of a toolbox, connected to the engine with some wires. "What's this?" I asked John. He smiled again. "It's a generator." I asked John how the engine is powered without electricity. He told me that the engine itself produces electricity for the whole house. Another wires were coming out of the engine and were connected to a small electric box on the wall. John pushed a button and suddenly the engine stopped spinning, and in seconds the lights went off, and we remained completely in the dark. John pushed again that button. The engine started spinning again, and the lights went on again in all the house. John also told me that several hundred families in the country use this invention, and he is not the only one using it. This was the proof I needed. That thing really was making electricity for the whole house. We decided to spend the night in their house, so Mia could run a hot bath for the girls. I couldn't sleep all night long, thinking about that weird invention I saw in John's basement. The next morning, we returned to our house. The volunteers gave us fresh water and food, and 2 weeks later, our house was repaired and things started to get back to normal. But one thing was in my mind all the time. I wanted to make sure my family never goes through such a traumatizing experience again. I was starting to feel like a rat trapped in a corner trying desperately to find a way out. After a couple of days, another crazy idea hit me in the back of my head and settled into my brain. What if I go to John and kindly ask him to help me build an invention like his at my house? I shared him the humiliating circumstances behind why this was so important to me. I begged him to give me the secret, to back up my house too. Finally, he accepted. Then you probably know how whenever this situation you've been worrying about turns out okay, you feel this powerful wave of relief just overtake your entire body. John agreed to come to my house next weekend and help me build the generator. He gave me some old papers with some drawings, including a list with tools and supplies necessary for building the device. So I put what little money I had into building what John and I had started calling Tornado Energy Generator. I knew that whatever will come up had to be incredibly cheap to build. I found some of the parts I needed at a local junkyard and others I ordered from an online store. I had spent less than half of what I would have had to shell out for paying for one of those monthly power bills. Next Saturday morning, as we have spoken, John came to my house and started together building the long-suppressed generator in my garage. All said and done, the generator took us about 2 days to set up. The next day, Sunday afternoon, our generator was finally ready and connected to my house power box. I think we were both a little surprised that I had been able to help him build something like this since I hadn't picked up a tool since I was a teenager. The design was pretty nice and was about the size of a small letter desk, which meant it could be put almost anywhere. The next step was to test it out and see if it really worked as well as we thought it would. We plugged in an old AC unit laying down in my garage and some tools I had there, a grinder, a hammer drill, and an electric saw. Additionally, what I really liked about it was that it was incredibly safe, much more so than anything that runs on gasoline. But the real test was when my next energy bill came, the next month. My wife and I slowly peeled the envelope open, our insides churning with nervousness. Imagine the look on my wife's face seeing the electric bill after less than a month of using this generator. It dropped from $347 previous month to just $17. This was 6 years ago. Today, my electric bill does not exist. A few months later, another idea hit me in the back of my head. Being a very helpful person and genuinely kind and care for others, I put my foot down and I told John that we had to find a better way to share this energy production system with the world. We had to do something to help others duplicate what we did. Let's help other people escape the power monopoly and enjoy their energy independence. It took a lot of convincing effort, but finally he agreed, and this is how the Tornado Generator program got started. Would it work for someone else, even if they'd never built anything before? We decided to create an easy-to-follow step-by-step guide so that anyone, no matter their location and technical skills, can do what we did. We brainstormed together on how to make the ultimate tornado generator blueprint for the absolute beginner who has zero DIY experience. To be 100% honest with you, it wasn't an overnight success. In fact, the final copy of our DIY blueprints wasn't finished until 1 year after that conversation with John. It took so long because we tested it and retested it. We wanted our DIY plans to be so simple that literally anybody, even with little to zero building experience, could build their free energy generator in a matter of hours. Not only were we able to get the tornado generator program working, but we had made some adjustments to it and were able to increase its efficiency. What followed was a pleasure. You'll see how easy it is to put everything together, and you hear this coming from a guy that used to work in a downtown office and knew nothing about engineering. It's actually much easier than what you would expect it to be, even if you've never built anything before. In fact, this system was specifically designed so that anyone with one hand can build it, even if you have difficulty plugging your charger into a cell phone. Everybody can get solar panels up on the house or in their yard. But how long does a single charge last? How much would a normal system cost? Not to mention maintenance, snow, and all the space they take. Or even worse, putting your health at risk by hanging them on the house and climbing up there to clean them. It's a nightmare when winter comes, high winds, or when a sudden hailstorm hits. Just imagine having your entire home powered by tornado energy generator. Honestly, you've never saw anything like this before, and in 5 minutes from now, you will be furious about the fact that you ever gave Big Electric, or the gas company, a dime. Pumping as much heat as you want during the winter, blasting the AC during the summer, running your televisions, your kitchen lights, your garage doors, your most heavy-duty appliances. You might want to take notes, because this will be short and intense. I started to get strange emails from someone at one of the local energy companies. The emails just said that they knew what I was up to, they didn't like it, and that if I didn't stop, then they would take legal action against me. Now, before I continue, you must know that this page is going to be taken down very soon. It may be gone before you finish watching this presentation, because the energy mafia and the government wants to shut down us forever, so please, watch it now while you can. Here's a short video of the device in action. You're going to see how a $60 device generates energy from nothing. Remember, this is a small scale of the tornado energy generator. With larger scale devices, the results are impressive. It is incredibly easy to build. The technology may have been the cutting edge in the 1930s, but these days, it's definitely not rocket science. It generates free electricity day in and day out, allowing you to slash your electricity bill by 80% or even 100%. Plus, the scaling trick that will get you off the grid for good and even make the electric company pay you for the electricity that you'll produce. You will discover how to get the optimal use from your tornado generator setup. You'll be able to heat or cool your home, light up your house, and operate all your home appliances. It is destined to meet real energy needs like refrigerators, air conditioning, and machines, because you'll get the inside scoop on how to make this device even more powerful. You can use this to provide power to your cabin, no matter how remote in the mountains or forest it is. What's more, because the tornado energy generator is very light and portable, it's perfect for power emergencies. No more freezing in the winter when the power goes off because of snowstorms. It is completely environmental friendly, no fumes are involved, and you won't even hear it running. In fact, it is probably more environmentally friendly than solar power or wind power systems. It makes no difference if it's raining outside or if it's too hot. You don't need an expensive battery bank to store the excess electricity produced by this generator. There's no maintenance whatsoever. You won't have to install it on your roof like solar panels and worry about the weather forecast all the time. You can basically install it anywhere you want. This device can be safe and easy to operate in any basement, garage, or storehouse. Here's what people think about the device. I didn't order the tornado generator manual just to lower my electricity costs, and I honestly didn't expect a huge drop. I was just trying to make my kids proud and personally do something about the global warming problem. But then I got my first full monthly bill after completing it, and it was actually a check. Sure, it was only for $4.58, and I gave the money to my children. But it was the greatest feeling in the world, especially knowing me and my family were doing our part to help preserve this world. Diana Franklin from Westville, Illinois, 39 years. I am 62 years old and living on a fixed income. Rising costs on just about everything from food and gas to my utilities were robbing me of having any money to spend on my grandchildren. Something had to give, or I was going to have to sell my house. The tornado generator saved us from bankruptcy. My electric bill was as high as our mortgage. Now we've cut it to 15%, and it's getting lower with each month. Thomas Davis from Springdale, Utah. I went through the material twice. I can't believe how easy it is, even if I've never built anything before, not even a birdhouse. It took me 3 hours to put the system together, and at every single step, I felt like you guys were there with me to guide me. More importantly than that, however, is the fact that I'm saving a boatload of money. In my very first month, my power bill dropped from $240 to $20, and it hasn't been above $23 since. Mike Moulton from Boise, Idaho, 44 years. So here's why you need to try the tornado generator today. Quite frankly, the exuberant bills you pay for electricity are criminally high. I don't know if you've noticed, but our economy doesn't show any signs of improvement. With the prices getting higher every month, as well as unemployment rates, with health care and immigration policies always under pressure, I wouldn't be surprised if this year we see violence taking over our country. And if this happens, energy will be a very powerful asset. And electricity companies have teamed up with their so-called competitors to transfer this increase in production costs directly to the customer, instead of reducing their massive profit margins. I mean, come on. It doesn't get more disgusting than that. This is why you need to ensure your future with the Tornado Energy Generator device and waste no more time. Imagine being able to have readily available electricity without having to invest in expensive solar panels that can cost $20,000 just to install and thousands more to keep maintained. The Tornado Energy Generator, on the other hand, is extremely adaptable and will completely change the way you look at energy. It costs less than $100 to build. Everything you need could be purchased at your hardware store easily and cheaply, or you can go online for even lower. It's completely weatherproof. It makes no difference if it's raining outside or if it's too hot. And you don't need an expensive battery bank to store the excess electricity produced by this generator. It's incredibly easy to build. You can find all the spare parts and materials at your local electronics store. Most of you will have a lot of the materials just laying around like I did. This system was specifically designed so that anyone with one hand can build it, even if you have difficulty plugging your charger into a cell phone. It's completely environmentally friendly. There are no emissions, no fires, no fumes released or no radiation, and no worry about creating a dangerous reaction. And best of all, it generates free electricity day in and day out, allowing you to slash your bill by 60%, 80%, even 100%. Here's how to get Tornado Energy Generator blueprints. You need to move fast on this one, because this website could get closed down very soon due to legal threats. Our resources are limited. The first time we released this information about the Tornado Energy Generator, Big Energy unleashed its corrupt corporate legal devil dogs on us and almost put us in jail, and we fear it might happen once again. Meanwhile, I'm being threatened constantly, and I'm becoming increasingly worried for the safety of my loved ones. Which means that the moment I think the danger has become too real or too immediate, I'll have no choice but to take this website down forever. People need to hear about this amazing device so they can join us in the fight with the greedy corporate energy monopoly monster. So here's the deal. The Tornado Energy Generator is available in digital format as videos that you can watch and re-watch or download as many times as you like. Just think about it. How much money did you send to your local power company last year? In 2 years? In 10 years? Imagine slashing your electric bill 70%, 80%, 90%, until getting completely off the grid and making them pay you for a change. Imagine being able to have readily available electricity without having to invest in expensive solar panels that can cost $20,000 just to install and thousands more to keep maintained. You will not only see your bill getting smaller and smaller, but you will make your home 100% immune to power outages, blackouts, storms, or domestic emergencies. I'm also talking about energy that's transportable. Once you've built it, you can take your generator wherever you need power, even in remote, high-altitude locations. No matter what happens, you will always have access to energy and electricity. When the electricity goes out, you're safe. When the gas pumps close, you're safe. Creating electricity will not be a problem. Imagine being able to light up your house, even in the worst circumstances, without having to run gas-guzzling generators that cost hundreds of dollars a day. How much is it worth to you to literally get free electricity for good? So I'm not going to ask you to invest $1,000 for this secret, even though I know it's worth at least that. It won't cost you $500. I wouldn't have afforded that. In fact, the whole reason I'm even charging any money for this is to keep the website running for as long as possible. Okay, here's what we were able to do for you. We worked hard to find a financial sweet spot. Yet the Tornado Energy Generator blueprints won't cost you $500. Not even $250, though they would be worth every penny at this price. I'm going to set the price of the Tornado Energy Generator blueprints at just $69. I can't guarantee that I can keep this price for longer, especially since we're giving 60 days of unlimited email support. So don't get mad if you come here in a few days and see that the price has gone back up. And really, the price doesn't even matter. That's because you're covered by no questions asked money-back guarantee for 60 full days. Look, I know that too many folks getting off the grid with homemade generators may sound a bit too good to be true. So I've decided to make this as risk-free as possible for you, and then to take it up a notch. You'll get immediate access to all the blueprints and step-by-step DIY manual, the video guides, and the list of tools and supplies for a single payment of only $49.97. And this is a one-time fee. There are no hidden costs, no auto billing or forced continuity, so you can feel safe when ordering today. That's probably less than half of what you're paying each month on electricity. Obviously, you will make back your investment of $49 in a week or two, certainly in a month. Finally, independent of energy overlords, you will feel like a king. Getting the blueprints for the Tornado Energy Generator is easy. Just click the big, shiny, inviting Add to Cart button below, and you'll be taken to our secure order page. Get your copy now. Try it out for a full 60 days. And if for some reason you're not satisfied, you don't see that damn meter stop, or whatever reason you may have, you don't have to tell me. Just write me a few lines on your private support page, and I'll refund you, even if it's the 24th hour of the 60th day. Get rid of the daily or weekly arguments over the thermostat forever, and see what it's like to slash your electric bill by 60%, 80%, or more in less than 30 short days. If you find that the Tornado Energy Generator doesn't help you to drastically reduce your electric bill by fully powering your home, just email me within 60 days of receiving your order to get a 100% refund. We'll give you an immediate refund, even if it's the 23rd hour of the 59th day. I started to get strange emails from someone at one of the local energy companies. The emails just said that they knew what I was up to. They didn't like it, and if I didn't stop, they would take legal action against me. Honestly, if anything, those emails just made me even more pissed at the power cartels than I had been already, and even more determined to get the Tornado Energy Generator system into as many people's hands as possible. And think of the looks on those greedy executives' stupefied faces as they discover in horror that not only they've lost a $3,000 a year customer, but on top of that, they have to send you a monthly check for $50, $100, or more. Now, you can send a message to the Big Energy Fat Cats and show them that you're no longer depending on them. And really, the road to energy independence starts with the push of a button. The Tornado Energy Generator will help you save thousands of dollars each year. You won't need expensive generators, and it is portable, meaning you can take it with you and use it for whatever you need. Instead of paying thousands of dollars on expensive generators, you can pocket the savings and spend it on more important things. I know it sounds crazy, but just imagine how good it would feel to know you're not paying a cent on electricity. It's a feeling of total peace of mind, as you're no longer trapped by a monopoly you cannot escape from. Imagine this. You're coming home from work, receiving the bill. Your hands shake while you open the envelope. And yes, it's exactly what you've been expecting. The amount is negative. This means that the electric company is now forced to pay you for the excess electricity you are selling back to the grid. And you're getting checks every month just from keeping the tornado energy generator on. Month after month, you will enjoy that wonderful stress-free feeling. At last, the financial pressure is off. It was like a bad dream, and now it's over. The tornado energy generator is about something bigger and more important than money. You'll be showing them that you can take a stand and that you can become energy independent, living on your own without needing a single kilowatt of their expensive electricity. I don't want to pressure you here, but you've got a really simple choice to make. You've really just got three options. The first thing is do like most people. Take no action. Do nothing. Right now, you could close this window and never look back. Leave this website behind and keep acting like a power Nazi around the house, constantly worrying about every last kilowatt of power. Let your summers get hotter and winters get colder while you're left with an astronomically high energy bill each month. You can wait for the problem to solve itself. Unfortunately, that's probably what most people will do. They will hope that the situation is only temporary, and they'll pray that the big energy execs will suddenly turn good and start charging fair prices. Of course, there's a second path. Buy solar panels or other generators. It's great that you want to take control over your life and protect your loved ones. It's even greater if you have the money to invest in these fancy technologies. But I've already showed you the drawbacks you'll be facing, and I need to remind you that we're talking about thousands of dollars here, money that could easily secure your retirement. Our team of experts created this guide just for people like you who are ready to take matters in their own hands and wave goodbye to the big energy mafia once and for all. But pay attention, because without our expert help, it's a different story. Even if you find patents for the tornado energy generator floating around the internet, you will not be able to buy this type of generator anywhere in the world. But don't worry, we really have made it incredibly easy for you. Don't waste your energy and your money on expensive experiments. And if you really want to hit the big energy fat cats right where it hurts in the money bags, then you should consider option 3. Let me take all the risk for you. Click the button and join the 28,000 other patriots who have decided they've had enough of big energy, sucking up their precious dollars. You have 60 days to decide whether this was a good investment or not. You risk nothing. You've seen the proof that this works. You've heard the success stories, and in less than a month, you will see the results for yourself. Get the blueprints today and put them to the test. See how easy it is to make your own electricity with the tornado energy generator. Just click on the orange Add to Cart button that you see below. As soon as you click that button, you will be taken to our secure order page. They are easily one of the biggest and most trusted online merchants in the world. They handle many thousands of secure transactions every day, so there is no risk to you. After you've finalized your payment, you will be taken to our private members area. This is where we keep the plans, blueprints, guide, lists, and much more, including a surprise gift to show you just how much we appreciate you joining us and taking action. You'll be able to view the over-the-shoulder video guide, the blueprints, the illustrated instructions, and the materials list right from your computer, smartphone, or tablet. You'll get immediate access to all the blueprints and the step-by-step DIY manual, the video guides, and the lists of tools and supplies for just $49.97. You'll also be able to download all of the files, and you can print out as many copies of the blueprints and materials lists as you'd like. On top of your instant access, I'm also going to make sure that building the system and running it is one of the easiest, simplest, and most pain-free experiences you ever have in your life. That's why, when you take advantage of this significant discounted investment price today, you're also going to get unlimited customer support for life. Go ahead and invest in the Tornado Energy Generator System right now. And I'll look forward to seeing you inside that members-only area in just a few moments from now. There are some questions that I keep receiving from people, and I'll try to answer a few here. 1. If the parts are available in local stores, then why doesn't everybody have free energy? There are more than 17,000 happy families already using the Tornado Energy Generator, but every serious prepper that uses it won't brag about it. For some, it's the fear factor. Most people think this is too complex to build. The fact is, the Tornado Energy Generator is easy when you have the proper blueprint. 2. Is the Tornado Energy Generator hard to build? This is incredibly simple to build. You'll kick yourself for not taking up the Tornado Energy Generator earlier. There's very little physical labor, so even the elderly or those with a bad back or other ailment should have no problem making it. As a result, there are just a small handful of materials required, and you should allow about 3 hours total for construction. If you're still feeling nervous, remember that there's also the step-by-step video guide that's included inside. Simply watch what I'm doing, then copy it. It's really that straightforward. Plus, if you do get confused, for even a second, don't forget to take advantage of your free lifetime support that's included. 3. Another popular question goes something like this. Is this just a fancy demo? Does it really work? Listen, we totally appreciate and understand your healthy skepticism. In fact, we welcome it. If you did not have a skeptical, free-thinking, inquisitive mind, then you would have never arrived at our website. The short answer is, friend, this is real. This works. You will break free of the energy company chokehold. 4. How much is this really going to cost me to build? Typically, people spend about $85 on their Tornado generator if they get everything brand new. But I've also had thousands of people write an email to tell me that they've built theirs for free. Those people simply took a little extra time to visit their local junkyard and found that almost every part they needed was right there waiting for them.